Oh, it is so toasty. Holy cow. Let's go drop off some clothes at the laundry. Maybe I can get them back today. Hopefully. Hopefully. All right. Welcome to Lo de Marcos. Cool little town, about 40 miles away from Puerto Vallarta. It's kind of a sleepy little beach town. Had an idea that I can kind of describe all of the different mods that I did to the DR, because I think there are some that I wouldn't do again, and there are others that I think are really, really important, especially since I've been riding this bike about 25,000 miles for this trip alone. So I've got 25,000 miles of ride history with these modifications I've done. Hopefully they're open. Yes, they're open. All right. Hola, buenos días. ¿Sí? Oh. Oh, sí, hoy. Sí. ¿Qué tiempo? Sí, muy bien. Gracias. Ooh, there's the meat shop. Looks like they just made some chicharrón. Oh, my favorite. I love this little beach town. It is awesome. Yeah, my place is like right on the beach. Oh, here's Martin. Hey. Yep. This big pink and orange monstrosity. Let's go check this out real quick. It smells like dead fish out here. I had heard that some fish had been washing up on the beach. Little guys. Oh man, so beautiful. It's hot today. Hey guys, welcome to my Mexico casa. This is the main floor. This is kind of like the living space. I've got like a little living room area here. Here's where I got all this stuff. I'm going to do some work to the bike. It needs to get ready to go back to Seattle because I've got another project in Asia. So actually park the bike inside because it's just so dusty outside. This is my kitchen. This is where all the tacos are made. All the preparation of tacos happens here. Actually, I don't make tacos because they're so cheap to buy, but nice kitchen area. Got this great dining room table. Can spread out all my stuff. If you've seen any of the Yucatan videos, those have all been made right here. So, right at this table, under this nice ceiling fan. Oh, it's so nice, the moving air. But I wanted to take an opportunity to make a quick video, just use the Senna, since it's got a mic, and go through all of the modifications I've made to the DR. I'm gonna do my best to try to get the camera in there nice and tight. So like if I'm talking about the handlebars or something, I'll try to get the camera in there. But basically, I've tried to do this video a few times, and using the SLR, you're setting it up in all these different locations, and I have a bunch of clips, but edits can just go from 2 hours to like 2 days, and I'm kind of in this mode right now where I just want to get stuff uploaded so the information can go to people who could use it. And I don't think having something in 4K, perfect edit, you know, is worth working on that for like a week so that maybe the people that need it never get to see it because you don't actually finish the video, you know, or never get it uploaded. So we're just going to do this nice and easy, and there you go. So let's go over the things first that I think were huge and instrumental in actually helping me out on this ride. I've got 25,000 miles of riding with these modifications. So after that amount of time, some of the things I don't think were actually worth it. Others I definitely think were worth it. So let's do the things I do think were worth it. Number one, the gas tank. So the DR fuel tank is a joke. Like the stock, it's a joke. Like we can all agree on that. I have the 6.3 gallon. To be honest, that might be bigger than I need. However, it gives me the confidence to go places even when I don't know if there's going to be any fuel, because I just know that I have plenty of fuel. I can go 400 miles with this tank. So, I mean, that is a full 10-hour day, even if you're going slow, you know? And I think the fuel tank is huge if you're going to go on an overland trip. And I made all these modifications thinking I was taking this bike down to South America, but life as it has it, you know, kind of changes things as you go, and I keep on getting involved in projects elsewhere. So the South America trip is kind of getting pushed back. And what'll happen eventually is I'll just fly it from Seattle to Colombia and just do that. There is a jump off point from Central America, you know, around September, October. If you're not in Colombia, you are going to get snowed on in the Andes, and there's a good chance you're going to get stuck. And for me, I wanted to go down and back. So I just kept on missing that time window. But anyway, so fuel tank, number one. Number two, these are my F800 GS bars. These are the hand guards that came with the F800 GS. These are the little TourTech adapters, extensions, what have you. These are El Cheapo mirrors. I got these on Amazon for like 14 bucks. They work so good. These are awesome mirrors. I love them. But when I installed these bars, I also installed the risers. So I'm 6'1". I can stand up on the pegs and basically just lean forward a little bit and I'm good. So I'm not like bent, hunched, but just lean forward. And I usually just kind of grab with my knees. I just grab with my knees right about here and just lean forward a little bit and I'm good to go. But these bars have been awesome, and I can't imagine riding the DR for this kind of distance without having these bars on here. So I don't think anyone else has a DR with F800 GSA bars, so it kind of makes this bike unique. When I did the bars, I also went ahead and did the steering head bearings, just because, you know, when you got everything tore apart, you just might as well do it. So gas tank, handlebars, front suspension is really, really huge. Gosh. So check this out. This is like the daily thing in Mexico. Just people driving around with these big speakers on the top of their car. Look at this guy. Just noisy. Just yelling at everybody. Oh my gosh. So the water guy does that, the gas guy does that, this guy is advertising for some bar or club or some crap. Anyway, back to the modifications. So, gas tank, handlebars, front suspension. That's what I think will turn this bike from just a regular kind of go off and have a weekend with your friends, maybe do like a little weekend ride, week-long ride, to an adventure bike. Front suspension changes this bike from night to day. I've made a lot more modifications that we'll go over here, but I think those 3 are huge, and I definitely think if you're going to do a long trip, you should really consider those 3. But while I'm here, when I talk about these rims, first of all, this Heidenau tire is junk in my opinion. It doesn't hold a candle to the TKC that I normally run. Normally TKC on the front and then the Heidenau rear, the Scout. That's my favorite combo, because even the TKC in the front on pavement is amazing. So this Heidenau is like garbage. I mean, in deep sand, it just always wants to wash and everything. There's no bite. Pisses me off. But I went ahead and did the Excel front rim because I did bend a rim on my F800 GSA, and that was a pain in the butt. So I put the Excel rims on front and back, did the 18 on the rear, which actually, I was thinking once I got out of the USA it would be easier to find an 18 than a 17, but everything's changed and it's actually easier to find a 17 rear than an 18. So just FYI for everybody. So front 21 rim. While I'm down here, I might as well talk about the little adjustment I made for the, I'll try to get in here nice and close. So the oil cooler sits really close to the tank, but the tank moves. Like, that just happens as you're going through off-road, whatever. It moves quite a bit, and you can see that. And it was actually contacting the edge of the oil cooler. So all I did was I changed the positioning of these vibration dampeners. They're basically just rubber washers. So I moved the oil cooler in like a half an inch, and now it never contacts, even when, you know, I do 300-400 miles of dirt, off-road, whatever. The tank moves around, it's just doing its thing, but it never contacts the oil cooler, so that's good. Let's see. Did the upgraded stator and the rectifier, because I run heated vest when it's cold, and I also have a USB charger, which honestly I think every bike should have a USB charger. So just do it. I mean, it's just going to help you out so much in so many different ways. Everything's USB charger these days. Even if you're just charging up a battery pack so that you can use the battery pack elsewhere, it just helps out so much. What else? Oh, this is huge. So, made a modification with my dad. We cut the original. God, this guy is so loud. Man. It's so freaking loud. It's like penetrates my brain. Holy cow. There's just no peace in Mexico. Everything is loud and yelling and craziness, but I love it. I love it. Okay, so back at it. Kickstand. The pad for the stock kickstand is like ridiculous. I mean, it might as well just be a post just going into the ground. And once you load this bike down with a bunch of crap, a bunch of fuel, yourself, all your luggage, and all your shit, this thing is useless. So we cut it, we extended it, and then put this nice big pad on the bottom. And even on sand, like, I can easily kick the kickstand out, and I never ever have to worry about the bike falling over, even fully loaded. So that's huge. Definitely do that. Also, if you want to take this bike on a really long trip, I would recommend the center stand. I wasn't going to do it, and then last minute before I left, I went ahead and bought it and put it on. And I've used this thing so much because, you know, you can do any of your work on the center stand, take off wheels, whatever. You never have to try to figure out another stick or something on the other side, or it's just so solid and it works so well. I think it's worth it, but that's to each their own there. But it's kind of a creature comfort, to be honest. It doesn't get you down the road, but it helps. Did the washable air filter. That's really helped, because I probably washed the air filter 3 times per oil change. So yeah, that's definitely helped out quite a bit. What else we got here? Did the Cogent rear with the reserve rear shock, and it's been really. Is that leaking? No. Hope not. Did it blow that thing? Hope not. There's an awful lot of oil at the bottom of it, though. Crap. I might have blown it. Well, I hope not. But it's been a great shock. I'm pretty hard on the bike, especially since once you load it down with all your stuff and then you're hitting topes and all that other kind of stuff, I mean, you're just hard on it. So the stock would be just destroyed. But if you're only going to do one, do the front. Don't worry about the rear, just do the front. This has actually helped out quite a bit. So ToolTube, I'll add a link to this guy's video on how he made this. It's really great. It's kind of large, so it's about this long, 14-16 inches. But the reason why I like his is because of this cap. So with the way that he has everything laid out, I'll give you all the parts and everything. This cap, you drill a few holes and then you put these chain links on, hooks up to the helmet lock, and then this thing can't get twisted off while you're cruising down the road. You know, it's not really for somebody that's going to steal something. It's just because this bike vibrates itself to pieces. So, you know, you got to have something that holds it all together. Like I said, did the 18-inch rear. I wouldn't, you know what, now I wouldn't even do the Excel rear rim. I would just leave the 17, because I think you're more likely to bend a front rim than you are a rear, and the 18 just is more of a pain in the butt to find a rear tire. I wasn't even able to find an 18 Heidenau when I was in Guatemala. I ended up going with this Michelin TKC. This is the 70. Honestly, this tire has really impressed me. So it's a dual compound, and it's got about 4,000 miles on it. I think it's about half war. So I'll probably get 8,000, maybe 9,000 miles on it. But I can even rip through sand with it. It just doesn't do well in deep mud. That's the only thing. But I'm not often in deep mud, so not a huge deal. Put some standoffs here just so I wasn't burning this guy. Hey, Lodo Marcos, that's the town I'm in right now. Cool little place. What else? New clutch, I did the Barnett clutch. Oh, the oil filter. So I did the Scott's oil filter, and that's really helped out because I didn't have to bring extra oil filters or any of that kind of stuff. Oil is pretty easy to find, but if you need specific parts, you're going to need to go to a dealer. So you're going to have to find a dealer somewhere, which is probably in a city, and then buy your specific parts there. They're not likely to have them. They're probably going to have to order them, including like an oil filter. So as you can tell, like that becomes a huge issue, because if you're trying to move and make it through, you know, these countries or whatever, you're on a 30-day visa and you need to change the oil and you ran out of oil filters. You find the dealership and they say, yeah, we can order it, but it'll take 30 days. How is that going to work? You know? So just something simple like the oil filter, washable, it just helps out so much. That's about it down there. I also did all of the needle bearings for the swing arm. So when I took all that apart, and that I think has really helped. But those were the only bearings I did. The steering head bearings and the swing arm bearings. A lot of people tell me I should put a new seat on here to be a little more comfortable, but that wasn't the goal of this build. The goal of the build was to build a bulletproof bike that still kind of looks crappy. because when you come into some of these small towns, you know, you already stand out enough. So you kind of don't want to stand out more than you have to. And I mean, this bike, although it kind of, you know, it's got all the stickers and all the junk, it still kind of looks normal. Yeah, once it's dirty, not a big deal, you know. So when I would roll in with my Beamers or something like that, it was just like everyone stops and looks and does all that stuff. One thing that you're not going to find on the Procycle website, but you really should have, is a bike cover. Because when you put a bike cover on, it's like the bike disappears. And a lot of times I leave luggage on the bike, you know, if I'm just parked for a night, put the bike cover on it, and I'm good to go. So, yeah, but I think that's about it, guys. Let me know what you think. Which modifications would you guys do for a longer trip? Which ones would you kind of like not do, you know? I mean, I think everyone's going to say they would swap out the stock seat, but that's cool. To each their own. But all right, well, it's hot, and I think I'm going to go for a swim. Wow. Yeah, man. All right, guys. Peace out, and ADV on.